How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss.
Every who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. I could be his head wasn't screwed and just right. I could be perhaps that these shoes were too fakes. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that this hurt was too small.
But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hatching the house, staring down for his cave with a shore, windy from at the harm-lighting windows below in their town, for he knew every who down in who by BJ beneath wash basit now and him a mistletoe grate, and they are ending their stockings. He snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here. Then he gurgled with his ringed fingers nervously drumming. I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming, for tomorrow he knew.
The who, girl and boys, would wake bright and early. They rush for the toys, and then the noise. That's on things. He hated the noise.
Then the who's young and old would sit down at 2 feet, and they feast, and they feast, and they feast. They will feast, and who pudding are rare, who roast beast with hands. Sometimes the Grinch could stand in the listen, and then they do something he likes least of all. Every who doing in who will they tight and they small will stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They stand hand in hand, and they whose hold start singing. They sing and they sing, and they sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I have put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas for coming. But how?
Wait. Then he got
Then he got an idea.
An idea. An
Awful idea. The Grinch
got
got idea.
wonderful,
Wonderful,
awful.
idea.
I'm confused what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat and made a quick Santa Claus hat and coat and he coat and hat. What a great Grinch trick! With this coat and this hat, I look just like Santa Night.
San Nick.
All I need is
Reindeer.
reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but some reindeer are scared. There was no to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch said, if I can find a reindeer, I'll make a one instead. So he can his dog Max. Then he took some red thread and he tied a big oar on the top of his head.
Then he loaded some bags and some old and paint sack on a ramp sleigh and he hit up old Max. Then the Grinch said, "Head up," and the sleigh started down toward the home where the house like a snow in the dog
Town.
All the windows were dark, quiet. Snow filled air. All the windows were all the dreamings, sweet dreams. With that kept when King came to the first little house on the square. This is stop number 1. The old Grinch is close, he said. And he climbed to the roof, empty bag in his fist.
Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch. But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little whose stockings all hung in a row. These stockings, he friend Green, are the first things to go.
Then he started slither and slack, with a smile mask and percent around the whole room, and he took every present: pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkboards, tricycles, popcorn, and lamps, and he stuffed them in bags. The Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags on one by one of the chimney.
Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the worst first. He took the who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out the icebox, asked a flash. With that Grinch even took their last can of who has.
Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now winded the Grinch I will stuff up the tree.
And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shout when he heard a small sound like the coo of dove. He turned out fast and he saw a small who, little Cindy Lou, who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny who daughter, who had out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch outside. Santa Claus, why are you talking our Christmas tree? Why?
But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought of up early, and he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the flake Santa Claus light. There is a light on this tree, that one light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there. Then I'll bring it back here. And his feet full the chill. Then he pat her head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou, who went to bed with her cap, he went to chimney and stuffed the tree up.
Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speak of food that he left in the house was crumb that was even too small for a mouse.
Then he did the same things to the other houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the mouses. It's a quarter past down. All the house sleep a bed. All the house sleep still a snow. When he packed up his sled, packed is it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, and the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings.
3,000 feet up the side
of Mr. Crumpet. He rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Pow, pow, to the walls. He was Grinch, really humming. They find out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the worst done is will all cry. Oh, who?
That annoys Grinch the Grinch. That I simply must hear. Should he post and Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow.
But the sound wasn't sad. Made this sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. When he shook, what he saw was a shocking surprise.
Every who down in who, Vale, the tall and the small, was singing without any present at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch watched his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stole puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packaging, boxes or bags. And the puzzle 3 hours till his puzzle was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more.
And what happened then? Way in Whoville they say that he grinds my hair grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his hair didn't feel quite so tight, he whisked with his love through the bright morning light. And he brought back the toys and the food for the feast, and he himself the Grinch carved the roast beast.